Hello everyone, hi, I am Shay. Welcome back to my channel. To all of my new and to my old subscribers, thank you so much. I was asked to do a video today on the healthcare benefits of the military and of course with the retirees, and that is called the TRICARE. Today I have a special guest with me to explain that process.
And my name is Ricky, and I am her husband, and I'm honored to be on your channel today.
Okay, and if you like, let's get started and let's try to explain what is TRICARE.
TRICARE is the military retiree program insurance, is what it is. So when you retire, you will go into the retiree insurance program.
Okay, and as a retiree, your health care options are the VA, and then you, as he just stated, you have TRICARE, and you also have other supplemental insurance options. Okay, now we have some questions here that was sent to us via email, and the first question we got was from Chrissy, and Chrissy asks, can the VA bill private health care insurance? And that answer is yes. The VA has the authority to bill most health care insurance for non-service connected care provided to the veteran. And if you like, would you like to explain what non-service connected is and also service connected?
Okay, all right, and that's a very good question. When you hear us as we progress on in this video, as you hear us talk about non-service and connected service disabilities, what we're saying is that once you retire, you will submit a VA claim for any disabilities that you experienced while you was active duty. So you will go to a VA rep and you will claim any pains, hurts, or whatever that you have experienced during your military time, and then the VA will submit a claim. And once that claim comes back, and they will rate you on all your disabilities that you submitted to them. And they will rate you 10, 20, 30, all the way up to 100%. All right. Now, what we're saying is that if you're service connected, that means that those disabilities that the VA has approved of for you and given you a rating on, that is what is considered, you are considered to be a service connected veteran. That means that you can go to the VA and they will take care and you can be seen for those disabilities. Now, non-service connected disabilities is that a veteran is that you got 0 ratings. You have none that you can go to the VA because they didn't rate you any on your disability. So that is a non-service veteran disability.
Okay. Now, once the insurance company pays this balance, there's a lot of time there is a remaining balance. So only thing the insurance company is that what they do is they help to defray the cost. Now, the veterans are not responsible for paying any remaining balance once the insurance company pays the remaining balance. And a lot of time what the insurance company do, they do not tell the veteran that they are not responsible for paying the remaining balance. And sometimes the company, they go out and they go ahead and pay the company the remaining balance, and a lot of times the company do not tell the veteran either that they do not have to pay the remaining balance. And of course, you know, everyone is into, you know, they're into making money. So what the veteran has to do, they have to do their homework, and that's just the bottom line. Do your homework, okay? That's just the bottom line. You have to do your homework and you have to take care of yourself.
That's good advice. I don't know what I can say about that, but that is very good advice, where you have to always do your homework and research. I'm always researching.
Yes.
Anything new come out concerning veterans, I'm always on it, and you have to because things change a whole lot.
Yes.
So you have to be aware of what's going out there and all the changes concerning, you know, veterans, because there's a lot that's out there.
Yes, always
Good
changes.
advice.
Okay, we also have a question that Marissa asks. And Marissa asks, can the VA bill Medicare? And that question is, by law, the VA is prohibited from billing Medicare. And additionally, veterans are not, they are responsible for paying any balances, okay? So the veteran, they are responsible for paying the balances on their bill to the facilities. And you also, veteran, you have to be careful when you go out to other hospitals. When you like go to the emergency room, a lot of times when you go to not only the emergency room, when you go to hospital, you have to be careful. You have to have an authorization to go to when you seek outside care, because if you don't have an authorization, a lot of times you are responsible for paying that whole hospital bill. And sometimes the hospital or the VA or maybe TRICARE or they won't waiver that cost. So you have to be careful if you go out and seek the emergency room sometime outside of the VA or TRICARE. You have to be careful because sometimes they won't waiver that cost, and you are responsible for paying that hospital bill.
That's good to know. That's really good to know.
So be careful.
Very good point. Now let me ask you this, Brenda. So in an emergency situation where a hospital is closer than the VA, so if I choose to go to that emergency room, will the VA will recoup me if I had to pay during that emergency room? Because I didn't have time to go to the VA.
Sometimes
they will.
It depends.
Okay.
It certainly depends.
Yeah.
Because what they're gonna do is they're gonna look and they're gonna see if you had time to go to the hospital.
Okay.
Now, sometimes I've seen situations when I worked at the VA where they did pay the hospital. Where they did pay the hospital bill, and I've seen certain situations where they didn't, and that comes into play where it depends on also whether it was a service-connected condition.
Right,
Okay, and we're gonna get into that a little bit more as we go into the video. But be very, very careful. I know when you're sick and you know sometimes you don't have time to really even think about do I need to think about the VA, is it closer or is the hospital closer? But the VA, they are very, very, sometimes they get very, they're very, yes, they are. So you have to be very careful.
Yeah. Good advice.
Yes, and it gets back into the 50% or more,
Yeah.
But we'll get into that a little bit more on the video.
Okay.
You have anything else you want to add?
That's it so far.
Okay.
That's it. Good advice.
All right, we have a question from Sandy Rodriguez, and she's asking us to explain the process of receiving medication via TRICARE.
Okay. That's a very good question. Sandy, you said?
Yes, Sandy Rodriguez.
All right, very good question. This is how that process works. If after you retire under the TRICARE program, you can go to the pharmacy and receive meds if you have a prescription from your private doctor. You can go and do that. But one of the things, the first thing I do recommend is that you, whatever area that you go into, wherever you live at, do a search of all the pharmacies that is connected to the TRICARE program. There's some pharmacies that has chosen to pull out of the TRICARE program that where you cannot go and take your meds to, or your prescription to receive meds. And I know Walgreens is a non-participator, and I think CVS also
effective on December 1st of 2016.
2016. Okay. That's good to know. But make sure that you do look at the area and see what pharmacies fall in that program. Now, I do want to say that the pharmacies has their own process. Even the VA pharmacy has its own process. So my point is, what you can do is, if you have a private doctor and you're under the TRICARE program and you've seen a provider off base, once they give you a prescription, you can go and get your prescription through any one of those pharmacies. Also, you can go to the base. If you're near a base, you can take your prescription to the base and the base will fill it for free. So you ain't got to worry about that if you're close to a base. But if you're not, then you can go to one of the pharmacies that's in that list. And as I stated, now also let me say this: if you are a veteran, whoever is the veteran can go to the VA and receive meds from the VA, not the sponsor. Not the spouse or the children, but only the veteran can go to the VA and get meds. Now, every one of them has their different processes. The pharmacies, each pharmacy will have their own separate process, and and the VA will have its own separate process as well. Now, copay, you will be asked to pay a copay when you use pharmacies, and I think some of the ones that we had to pay was like what, Brenda, $8, $3, $2 or $3.
It also depends on your income.
That's true.
And whether or not you 50% or less.
Okay.
Service connected.
Right. Okay.
So it depends.
And it depends on the meds too. It depends on the actual medication itself as well.
And sometimes the hospital, whether or not that they carry the medication, sometimes they don't carry the medication. They will send you out into the community.
Good point.
To get the medication.
That's a good point too. Because sometimes I've run into that, to where they don't have the meds on base or whatever, and they'll send you somewhere to get them. So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah. You know, one last thing regarding prescription, it would be a good thing is getting a hard copy of your prescription for any medication that you may have, and take that prescription over to maybe Rite Aid or somewhere, or maybe Walmart, and that might be considerably cheaper doing that. Sometimes, consider doing that, because sometimes, that $8 or that $3 may, it adds up at the end of the year. It really adds up. So consider, just getting a hard copy. Sometime if you have to go to like an outside doctor, like, for any other reason, and especially if they don't have your prescription at the hospital on base or something, or even at the VA, get a copy of that hard copy. Or even if you don't want to pay that $8 or that $3 at the VA, get a hard copy of that prescription and take it to Rite Aid or Walmart.
Yeah. All right. Also, it reminded me though. Make sure you keep your receipts too. If you're a person that likes to, you can claim that on your taxes. So keep all the receipts that you get whenever you pay your copay. That all that counts in the end. So make sure you do that. One other thing that I do like to tell you is that, and I know I alluded to it earlier about doing your research. It is so imperative that you do research, because Congress, I know I'm reading something, I came across something to where Congress is making some changes to us as veterans that affects us and impacts us, our prescription, our TRICARE. So you have to make sure you stay abreast of all the changes that is out there, because they are constantly coming up with all kind of changes that affects us. So please make sure you do your research and keep abreast of everything and all the changes that is going on, because it does affect us in the end. Okay.
It really does. Okay.
All right, I'm done.
Well, guys, this wraps up this video. If you have any comments, any video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. And you are welcome to email them to me at shaywithchrist@gmail.com. If you have not joined the ShayFab family, please click that subscribe button below and become a part of the ShayFab family. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't like this video, as I always say, keep your thumbs to yourself. All right. As always, thank you for watching, and God bless you. And I will see